And in the studio with me right now, Kevin Richards with our tech news. Kevin, by the way, is the president and CEO of Ventura Web Design. By way of disclosure, they, of course, created, designed, and maintained the allenstock.com webpage, which is just second to none. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good to have you here, and I appreciate your coming in. Let's get right into it. We got a lot going on, so let's talk about the new Apple update waiting to be installed on somebody's iPhone.
I'm sure you've seen the notification, right? It's ready to be installed on your phone.
I haven't seen it. Keep talking, I'll look.
So you go to your settings area, and it'll have a little red dot giving you that notification saying there's an update waiting. So that update is called 8.1.3, and the point of that is to fix some bugs and also ease the software's demand on storage space on your device. So Apple recently announced that about 72% of people are using the iOS 8 software. That's the latest version. Prior to that, it was iOS 7. About 25% are still on that older version. And, this doesn't address... are you still on 7?
Yeah.
You never went, not even to 8?
I didn't do it last time around when you told me to, because people were having problems.
I think you're on 8, but I'm not. I don't. You didn't take the last
I'll let you check.
minor update.
All
Yeah,
right.
we'll check that later. So there's still 25% of the people who are using iOS 7, which is several steps back. And again, the reason why it's important to update is they don't make a big deal about it, but there are security patches that are put out there. So if you're a heavy user, if you're reading, for example, this one affected a lot of PDFs. There were a lot of holes that were found when you were reading a PDF that could have executed some code on your phone, opened it up to hackers, or executed malicious code that caused your phone to crash. So I mean, it's worth it. We did it at our house last night, so it's not going to kill you.
All right. So what's included is this update on safety as well as storage.
Yeah. So what's different is it's not a huge change. When you go from 7 to 8, that's going to be a big change. It's going to be visible to you. But
oh, really?
Yeah. But 8.1 to 8.13, that's not going to be a big difference.
All right. Well, you'll have to show me afterwards. What about the update adoption rate at Apple? How are they doing with stuff?
Well, that's the big key about Apple. They're really proud that they can get their users to continue to update. Remember, we've talked about Microsoft, where they can't get people to get off of their operating system that's 10 years old. So Apple is really good about encouraging and telling their users that you can trust Apple. And, of course, we know that there was a big problem on the 8.1 update a while back. That was back in the end of, I believe, December when that took place. But, this is one that you can do. You're not going to end up with any major changes that you notice. And then the other interesting thing is that Apple releases their software early to developers, and they've already released 8.2 to those developers. And what we're talking about this morning, again, is 8.1.3. And so 8.2 is already out there for developers. And what's unique about it is that it actually has some obvious coding that's been added for the Apple Watch to support that.
Okay.
So that's expected to be coming out in... The software is expected to be coming out in March, and then the Apple Watch is expected in April. So the question is Alan Stock going to buy an Apple Watch?
I'm not sure. Exactly what will it do for me?
That's the interesting point. It's going to lighten your wallet by about $350 at least. Then it's going to add a little bit of convenience to your life. It works with your iPhone. So instead of... A lot of people, like you're putting your iPhone right back in your pocket right now, you won't have to pull it out. You can look at your watch to see text messages, see who's calling, see the time of day. You can see your heart rate. You can see it. It's designed to let you keep that iPhone in your purse or in your wallet.
What can you do? Everything on that watch?
We don't know everything that you can do, but it's definitely not proposed to be a replacement for the phone. I mean, you're still going to want to pull out your phone to do some big-time typing. I mean, you're going to have to twist the dial on the side to zoom in and out to make the text messages larger.
So, I mean, I'm just going to tell you, from listening to what you're saying, this seems like an interim measure to make a lot of money. Because, in other words, no, because eventually...
Apple would never do that.
But they're going to eventually come out with something that is going to be operable entirely on your wrist with a watch. But not right now. They're going to give you some and tease the convenience. You'll like it, $380. You said something like that, and then eventually another $380 or $480 or $580, and you can do everything.
And that's possible. That the question is, do people really want to these are called wearables, by the way. Do you want to buy wearables? Do you want technology to be worn, or do you want to pull it out and interact with it when you're ready for it? And I think that's really the question. That's a shift in usage, and it's a shift in functionality.
All right, I vote on pulling it out when I want it. I don't want to wear this stuff like Google Glasses, which they've been a big failure, by the way, and all that stuff.
That's right. Yeah, they've discontinued their Explorers. It was called the Google Explorers program, who people were basically beta testing the glasses.
It's rumored that Apple's trying to get into the TV business. They're still trying this. What's this all about? I mean, I'm only peripherally aware of this.
Right. So they have a device called Apple TV right now, and that helps you to get you can actually stream what's on your computer up to your TV. And you can also use their iTunes to download movies and watch it right on your TV through the Apple TV device. So you hook that up to your home Wi-Fi, and then you plug it into your television. And then through all that, you can use the interface on the TV, and it'll interact with iTunes and Apple, so you can watch TV. What's different today is the rumor out there is that they're trying to follow Sony and Dish, who have both successfully struck deals with content providers. And what Apple wants to do is it wants to bundle together some programming and then sell it directly as its own TV lineup and put it on the web and sell it direct to consumers.
Well, one last question about Apple. Mysterious Apple car being cited. What's this all about? Just a little marketing ploy?
Who knows? I noticed on Drudge, the photo showed up on Drudge today too, and you can take a look at it yourself. It's an interesting minivan, and it's got a bunch of cameras on it. It looks to me similar to what Google uses for its Street View. If you've seen those little white cars with the Maps logos all over it and the big camera up on top. Same thing with Bing. They have something called Street Side. It's basically designed to improve their maps, and so you can drive around and see what you're going to see when you drive to the actual location.
All right. Quickly, I'm going to digress and ask something else. The Google chairman, Eric Schmidt, recently said the internet will eventually disappear. He predicted the end of the internet as we know it. Do you believe that that's the question like that? I mean, we've just begun to explore the concept.
Right. What he's saying is the internet is a thing right now that we all kind of pay attention to. And this goes to the wearables discussion as well. It's the internet is something that we go to. And what he's saying is that internet where we go to is going to become ubiquitous. It's going to be everywhere. So we're no longer going to really refer to it as the internet as some separate thing that we're interacting with, but instead it's going to be part of our lives 100%. So you won't be able to get away from it. That's really what he's saying.
Give me an example, can you?
He's just basically, when you want to go to email, you go to the internet and you pull out your phone and you start interacting with it. Well, like we talked about earlier, the next step is to get that email on your watch. And so you're not pulling out a phone necessarily, you're always accessing it. And the Google business model is they want everybody to be on the internet 100% of their time because they sell advertising. So if the more you're on the internet and the more people who are on the internet using it, the more searching that Google gets. And then, of course, the more advertising dollars they get through clicks. So
let me extrapolate just based on a science fiction concept here. And maybe you'll say it's not so sci-fi, but are you talking about the possibility of placing chips in people so automatically everywhere you look, no matter where you are, you'll either be able to see what you want to see right now, or automatically you'll be able to consciously shift on over and start looking for your mail through your mind or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, the more interaction that you have with this data, the more ubiquitous it'll become, and the more just every day, and the less you'll think about, I'm going to go access my email, but rather just the email is already there for you. You think about the Google Glass. It was designed to be right there in front of you constantly. So when you get the new email, it jumps right on in. So you can see it, you can view it. It's always there, always on. That's what Google wants. So I think that's what he means when he says the internet is going away, because clearly the internet's not going away. It's just perhaps how we interact with it will change.
It's going to become more
everywhere.
More everywhere. Mm-hmm. All right, because I can't imagine it disappearing. People become very dependent on emails and on communication and all kinds of downloads and everything else.
Well, yeah, look around right now on the desk. I mean, we've got a pen. Instead of this pen just being what we call a dumb pen that does nothing, why couldn't it be a pen that knows exactly what we're writing and then automatically puts that into your Google Notes and suddenly you've got that information available. Why do I need all these printouts of paper when I could just have one big iPad? That's, I think, what the direction is going. There's no reason for us to live in the old analog world. It needs to be all digital, and that's where the internet would go away.
I would agree with you about paper and pencils, although I still like writing. A lot of us dinosaurs will still hold on to that, but also I do a lot of writing on my computer and on my iPad too. Especially when I'm on vacation, I have my little keyboard and I like to write and be able to create that way. So I do it both ways.
Well, it's also about privacy. I mean, do you really need everything you do, think, and see and touch to be constantly digitized? Maybe not.
Okay. I agree. I don't think it's going to be going away. Quickly, I know Google working with Skype to create a real-time translation video conference tool. Some of the other ones are out there like that, too. Some instant conference tools available, aren't there?
Right. So the story here is that Google has their own app. It's called Google Translate. It's got about 500 million monthly active users, and we've talked about this app before. And the new functionality that they're rolling out is it's going to allow it to convert speech to text instantly. Remember, we talked before about it can convert signs to text instantly. Now they want it to be able to convert speech to text instantly. And then, of course, Skype, that's an online video conferencing tool. And they have the same concept there. They want you to be able to have a conference with somebody, that other person speaking a different language than you, and both of you be able to instantly translate what the other is saying.
What about the idea of creating something, if they haven't done it already, where a scanner reads a paper or a book or something written, translates it to something verbal so blind people can access it?
I think that actually already exists through your Apple device. I think you can turn on translate tools or dictation tools, and it'll read things to you.
Really? Okay.
I believe so.
That's a great thing. If you want to contact Kevin Richards at Ventura Web Design, they did design my page, allenstock.com. Go to allenstock.com. On the right-hand side of the page, you'll see the Ventura Web Design logo, and click onto that. You'll be able to contact Kevin and Ventura Web Design and find out more about how they can make a web page for you.
And don't forget to follow Allen Stock on Facebook.
Exactly.
Good news, good stuff.
I appreciate you guys keep that updated, too, and I appreciate that very much.